Take two. I just filmed this clip before and for some reason my phone did not save it. So you just missed the last running of the engine. The EJ20 twin carb with electronic distributorless ignition. We're doing an EJ swap, people. So this car in its current form with this engine has driven its last kilometres. I have pumped the last of the fuel out of the tank, just connected a hose to the pump up there, ran the hose into the jerry can here, pumped it out, and got less than a litre out of it actually. Amazing. So I cut that pretty damn close. And yeah, in the other clip you just missed, stupid phone, I ran it just off what was left in the float bowls, just to see how long it would go for, and it actually idled for about 3 minutes, which was surprising. So, why am I doing the swap? Well, I'm just getting tired of this thing. Getting tired of carby life. Just need some more get up and go, because this engine, it just drinks way too much fuel for how little power it makes. I think it takes all the petrol and turns it into heat because the radiator is working pretty hard a lot of the time. Maybe my ignition timing's wrong, I don't care anymore. But yeah, the fuel economy on this thing's been anywhere between like 11.5 up to 15 litres per 100 kilometres, and it's a 1.8 litre engine. A 1.8 litre engine in a car that weighs less than 1.5 tonnes is absolutely obscene. Just, I can't get my head around it. It's like 2 carbs uses twice as much fuel. But then again, because of these massive tyres, massive, they're big for this car anyway, they're 27-inch all-terrains. I'm just, 100% wide open throttle most of the time when I'm moving off from a stop in traffic or any kind of a hill. I have to drop it back a gear or two and absolutely floor it to maintain the speed limit. It's fun because it's old, it's quirky old twin carburetor engine. It's really rare engine in Australia. But yeah, it's just too gutless in this car. So the EJ20 is coming, rebuilt, freshly rebuilt, better than new. I've got that stored somewhere, and so we'll jerk this thing out of here, drop the EJ in with an adapter plate at the moment with the current gearbox. There's a new freshly rebuilt gearbox coming soon. Take one final look at it in its current form, bring on the EJ. And since I'm doing this project in the middle of winter, of course, it gets dark pretty early, and scrabbling around in the dark in the shed and everything, and under the bonnet it's really dark, and in the car of course it's even worse, and it's only like 4 PM, so I decided to have a bit of an upgrade. Let there be light. We've got 5 I think they're 68 watts or 60 watts or something, 5 1200mm long battens, LED all around there. It is seriously like daylight in here. It's even better after dark. It is seriously like daylight in here, and 2 600mm ones are the same in the actual shed, so I can find stuff in the dark, which is completely new for this shed. This shed never had any lighting in it ever, and now we've got daylight. It's pretty nice. Can an ice cream tub hold petrol? Let's find out together. And that's all we got out of the tank from the drain plug. I was probably driving with about a litre left in the tank, and I got home still. Here we go. Bell housing unbolted, engine mounts unbolted underneath, AC hoses disconnected, power steering, radiator's gone. She's coming out. She's free. It's off the gearbox, just sort of hanging in the breeze at the moment. I'm just gonna get hooked up on that probably. I'll try and push it back a bit. Ooh, too far. See what we're hung up on back there. Just power steering hoses, I think. Just yeah, no big deal. not touching there, it's all good. Of course it's sitting on the piss because of all the extra weight on the left hand side there, passenger side, and she's pissing out the bottom, of course. Heater hoses aren't catching. Oh, ooh, bit tight there, better cut that zip tie, hey. There you have it. There she is. If you've never seen a EJ20 out of the car before, this is what we got. It's a very compact, small little engine, isn't it? Actually, that engine is just that bit there, stops about there. Rocker cover is just here. That's the cylinder head, engine block, crank, engine block, and the other rocker cover's there. So it's only that bit there, really, is the engine, intake manifold across the top, and twin carbies. It served me well, but I just need more power, and so I have to move this on. I'll be selling it because I just don't have space to store it, and I'll probably never use it. I mean, I need to restore that Brumby over there, but I probably wouldn't put this in it. You know, I'd probably either EJ it, or by the time I get round to it, I might as well make it an electric, hey? So yeah, unfortunately I've just got no use for this anymore. It's really sad because I did spend a lot of time. I had this in storage in the shed there before I got this car on the road. It was stored for about 8 or 10 years, and then only drove it for 2 years, 30,000 Ks, and it's time to upgrade already. Spent a lot of time, you know, converting the ignition over. You see the trigger wheel there and the sensor, and that ran beautifully, and I was really happy with that. And I got the carbies rebuilt. They looked like new before I started driving it. They look shit now because they're covered in oil and dirt. I've had it bombing up the beach a few times, and did the Robe to Beach port run in it, and bit of four-wheel driving on the York Peninsula in the sand, and it served me well. It's just doesn't have enough power really, and these big wheels on here just really, and the gearing's wrong. This thing just struggles. Like I said, full throttle all the time basically, and it's so thirsty. Anyway, enough babbling. We can finally have a look in the engine bay and look at the oily mess and sand that's on the cross member there and on my bash plate. Give that all a good clean and degrease. And I did suspect the rear main seal was leaking because I thought there was engine oil coming out from somewhere, but maybe. I'll get that flywheel off and have a look. I need to reuse that flywheel anyway. But yeah, she's out.